Today is one we have scheduled back again for the zone. This is the new norm, as Chapa said. We are all going to be sitting here in front of a screen, so we need to be very conscious of the image that we project on the screen. So it's very important to choose how this vision that you are creating right now is being projected to the world. Are you with me? Make an effort. This is the new norm. So we started a number of discussions. We have gone into a lot of new trial and errors, ways to start. But I'm back to the basics, because when I'm talking to you, I'm not talking about just networking. I'm talking to you about how you can, as an individual, make a difference, how you as an individual can change. Are you with me? The most powerful journey is a journey within. So it's more important to understand others than to be understood. Communication is the art of you being understanding. You need to understand them. You need to see their, needs and desires. You need to go into what their mindset is. You're not a marketing person. A marketing person sits in a different level, so to speak, because, i.e., you walk into a BMW showroom, right? You have already decided in your head you want a car. You have already decided in your head that, you have an inclination for a BMW. So you're walking in there. The man is, purpose-driven to sell you a BMW. Are you with me? Because a lot of presumptions have already been made. But when you're talking to a networker, you have to start with a blank slate. There's no BMW. So it means that you need to, first of all, understand what he wants. If he doesn't need a car, then sell him a bicycle. Sell him a vision that will get him what he wants to do. That means you need to understand him. And the mentality is that you are a listener. Doesn't mean you have to speak so much, but you have to listen a lot more. So how do you get somebody new to talk to you? You're more likely to succeed if you actually sit down and listen to them. Are you with me? So you have to start up with a generic topic, for instance. Meaning, you talk about general things. You talk about the weather, and you can talk about anything. I mean, COVID for that matter. You have always a whole host of things you can begin to talk about. And when you start talking to them about it, you have common ground. And with the common ground, you start a discussion. Are you with me? But first you get to know how many kids they have, what are they thinking about, what do they want to do next, what their life is, etc., etc., etc. So it's about building that in your mind. Are you with me? So everything is about building a vision in somebody's mind. That's how it begins.
Dato'Shri, the first question for you is, how do we shift our perspectives to see opportunities during a crisis?
I think I have said this before, and definitely many of you have already heard this. The word for opportunity and the crisis is exactly the same when it's written in Mandarin. It's because from the viewpoint of the Chinese, particularly those who are, from the South, the traders, the people who built the economies throughout the Far East and Southeast Asia, has always been that within a crisis, there is always an opportunity. Crisis creates an opportunity. Now, you can choose to be totally absorbed in the crisis, or you can start to look for the opportunity because it is there. We are a classic example of a company that was born in the middle of a crisis. 97, 98 was one of the worst critical years economically, a virtual recession in the Far East, and that's the year we were born. Again, we went through a crisis around 2008, and that was the year we were reborn. And I'm saying to you right now, again, this is another new avatar that we are going to have to make. Now, it's in the mindset. It's clearly in the mindset. Basically, if you take a look at the people who have been victorious in their lives, they look at the challenges that are coming to them and they welcome it. They embrace it. They literally enjoy it. Now, those of us who are going to be stuck worrying about it, then fear paralyzes us, and that happens invariably. And fear is everywhere right now. If you take a look at the, unfortunately, all the social media and its impact is simply, fear mongering. Just fear sells. Bad news sells. Why fear it? What is there to fear? Engage their fears, look into their fears, and you will find out at the end of the day that the fears do not exist. Because the facts always crumble before determination. They crumble before the vision. They crumble every single time. Right throughout history, they have repeatedly crumbled. Are you with me? Don't let the facts confuse your mind. Because if the facts were the only thing that counted, then all these people, the academicians, the economists, the accountants, the lawyers, the so-called professionals, they would be the one making the money. They work on facts. That's the only thing that drives them. Are you with me?
Yes.
Be it an accountant, be it an economist, be it a manager of any kind, they're driven by reports, by facts, by figures and graphs, designs, everything is put in front of them, and that's what drives them. But then the funny thing is, all of these people that I mentioned, they are always working for someone. And the person who drives and who pays their salaries is not the person who's looking at the facts. So right now we are going through all of this. It is only during this time that we can positively heal ourselves. It's a blessing in many ways. So while the earth heals itself, what about you? Heal yourself. So this is a time where we should not be afraid of ourselves. The only fear, the people who are going crazy climbing the walls right now, and we have a number of them. Are you with me? We have a number of people who are climbing the walls right now, looking out the window and thinking to themselves they're in prison, not recognizing that the only real prison is this right here. The minute you become comfortable with this, you are happy with this, you're not afraid of yourself, then a whole new journey begins. And then remember that this Mother Earth is also our mother. Thank her for the abuse that she's taken all these years from you. You cannot, cut yourself away from it and say, I'm not involved. You are all involved. There's one commonality. The other commonality is very simple. We are all, every single one of us, we are going to leave this place. Now you can call it death. You can call it transition. But whatever it is, this body that we are temporarily utilizing right now, we're going to leave it. So, what is important then? Between the period that we were given life from our mothers and to the period that we leave this planet, we must do something with our lives that is meaningful. So yes, all of you began this journey because you want financial freedom. I get that. So did I. So did Japa. So did all the V partners. That was the dream. That is still the dream. And that is the dream that we are still talking to and selling to everyone out there. What I'm here to talk about, what Japa and I talk about during every week-on is in between there to say, how can we also be a better human being? Rhythm is what we always have been pounding, that same message to you for 22 years. Now, some of you actually think that it's some kind of slogan that we used to, sell more goods, make yourself richer, this, that, and the other. Hopefully, some of you progress beyond that to understand its true meaning. Its true meaning is to recognize that we all need to help each other, that we all need to work together, that we are all one, ultimately. We have the same aspirations. What is your true legacy is what you do in between that time that you were given life from your mom till the point that you meet your maker, leave this planet or whatsoever. What do you make of your life? Now, the thing that destroys us in between is this urgent, critical things that we keep on running to do. So we don't get to slow down. We don't get to slow down to the point where we can introspect, retrospect. Now, if you can't even do that, read. Okay, take yourself seriously. There is so many skills that you need to basically work upon and improve upon. If you come out of this 10% better, just 10% better, both physically, all right? I'm not saying just sit down and read and improve your mental capacity. Work out. The people who are transfixed with the passion that you have, the fire that you have, and they're saying, I want to live my life better. Teach me how. Then you got them hooked. They do need a little bit of magic in their lives. Does that make sense? And the magic is in the transformation. The information you provide is not required for the transformation. The passion that you provide, that leads to a reformation. You reform yourself. You have to change. Change this nature. You get my point?
Yes.
And you will change your future.
Dato'Shri, just a follow-up question on that.
Yes.
Now, we've learned that leaders are not supposed to leave anyone behind on their team. But how do I make my team face the challenge with me, especially with those who do not have the same perspective as I do?
First of all, we cannot make any decision for anyone. Are you with me?
Yes.
The first thing you have to realize, and you will realize this from your own children, they are the best people to teach you this. Eventually you will realize that all your talking has done little or no impact. They do get influenced by you, by what you do, but very rarely by what you say. Are you with me?
Yes.
Downlines are no different. Downlines are exactly the same. So if they don't want to follow you, the question you have to ask yourself is, what kind of example are you setting? Why don't they want to follow you? Are you with me?
Yes.
Yes. So the question is more important to say, if you are not on fire with your own vision, it'll be hard for them to be on fire. They don't get it either. Are you with me?
Yes.
Yes. Now, there are some people who, unfortunately, are never going to be on fire. Then we have a song. Have you heard of the SW song?
Yes, Dato'Shri.
SW. Yes. You cannot wait for everyone, Baba. And how many people do you need to change the world with? You don't need an army. You just need a handful of people to change the planet. I've said this over and over again when I talk to you. When I go and address a stadium, 20,000 people, I basically say to them, give me 100 people, I'll change the planet. The reality is, give me 10 people and I will start all over again. Are you with me?
Yes.
So what is it that you want to, be worried about? There are people who are going to make their own decisions in life. You cannot change destiny for them. Are you with me? Yes. But effort is yours. 100% effort is yours. Till the very last second, you do your best. You talk to them. Never coerce them. Never force them. Convince them. Are you with me?
Yes.
That's all that's required. I've never stopped to look back and see who's following me. I basically do the best that I can to uplift them, to carry them wherever I need to push them, to pull them. But when we move forward, The people who follow are the people who follow. The rest is SW. And there's nothing much you can do about that, is there? Does that answer your question?
Yes, Dato'Shri. Thank you.